2024. The first item on the agenda is public comment. Nobody has signed up to speak today. Next item on the agenda is the review and approval of the meeting minutes from our May meeting.
Motion.
Got a motion from Mr. Franklin? Second. And a second from Ms. Morgan. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item is a review of the financial statements for May. Got Blake up.
Hello, Madam Chair, Board members, Councilmember Remick. This is the monthly cash flow presentation for May. A little bit of change in this first slide. You'll see two additional cash balances being added to the operating cash. These were previously restricted as far as designation on the balance sheet, but there was no reason to keep them as restricted. You'll see in the operating budget presentation after this that we include the Corporate Landing and Innovation Park projects as part of the operating budget. So we're adding those back here to give us a beginning cash of $10.3 million. We have $20,000 in interest income, $8,700 in conduit management fees from Level 3 Communications, $700 in international incubator rent from Catholic Global Incorporated. Cash disbursements, $55,000 at Atlantic Park for construction and support services through April 30th. $14,000.6 the monthly recurring charge conduit management to Global Links, and $30.5 corporate landing strategy and support expense to Vanass, and legal services at Atlantic Park for $14.5 to Davis, which gives us ending cash at $10.27. Payments reimbursed by the city. We have Venture Waves draw number 15 at Atlantic Park, $1.7 million for the entertainment venue, $1.4 for offsite infrastructure. Offsite infrastructure draw number 7 to architectural graphics at Innovation Park. $350,000 was reimbursable from the GoVA grant held with the city. $1.8 million was reimbursable from the city project. Innovation Park to Vanass geotechnical testing services for $3.5, and for $15.3 to Vanass the Ponce final design at Corporate Landing. Capital maintenance, no changes to the amphitheater, with the bulk of that cash sitting on the city CIP. Human service building, we received our monthly lease revenue, and there was HBA architecture, re-roofing and cooling tower replacement design for $12.9. At VB National, we received the monthly revenue for $21.5 and the BMP assessment invoice to VHB for $18.1. The incentive and initiative account starting at $1.3 million. The monthly lease payment to Olympia Bendix for $11.8, and then we have 3 facade improvement grant awards in May. One to Cook Development for $8,000. Pinnacle Group Engineering for $3.582, and to Get Now for $1.4, leaving our ending cash at $1.267. EDIP summary, no real action except for a little interest, less finance charge, leaving EDIP grant funds available at $4.77. And lastly, the construction in progress at the Atlantic Park. We have the entertainment venue increase of the same 1.7 you've seen previously. We're thinking we'll be able to add the parking increase probably in the September presentation once we receive the CDA's financials. And that concludes that short one.
Great. Any questions or comments for Blake?
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Moving on to the proposed fiscal year 2025 operating budget. Now you'll see this is kind of set up the same way as the cash presentation. That just logically made the most sense to have the operating cash followed by initiative, capital maintenance, and EDIP. It's a lot easier to understand that way, and really adds really assists with adding the cash back and helps us understand how much cash we have when we combine everything in the way that our cash balances are set up. So for VBDA operating revenue, you'll see the sale of land here. This is unrelated to corporate landing and innovation park. The sale of land is for something that the city might give the authority to sell, such as the Brack property, the London Bridge property. You can see in FY23. In FY24, there's $25,000. That's just an option deposit that expired at corporate landing. So it's just kind of a placeholder, just because we have action there in previous years. Industrial revenue bond application fees budgeted for $555,000. Lease income for the town center outdoor open cafes, $10,000. Lease income at the international incubator here for $11,200. I'm pretty conservative when it comes to budgeting for totally variable revenues. So I'm leaving off interest income, miscellaneous income to be surprised later.
Like, does that include option fee payments?
Yeah, the one at the top, the sale of land at the top includes the option fee from FY24. Instead of it could have been included with the corporate landing cash, but now that they're all the same cash balance, we might show them here. On the expenditure side, we have that reciprocal land proceeds to the city. Once again, that was the same transaction for the same amount in FY23. General administrative and strategy costs budgeted for 34.1. Amphitheater box seating budgeted for 52.1. Annual reception and events for 25.5. Audit fees for 22,000. And you'll see one large item that hasn't been there in previous years, a transfer to capital maintenance of 1.85. We're going to see that pop back up on the capital maintenance tab. Okay, still within the operating cash budget, we have our projects at Atlantic Park. We're going to receive the bond proceeds for the pre-development cost of 2.1. We have ongoing legal and support costs of $500,000 we anticipate for 2025. At corporate landing, anticipated revenue from land sales is $861,000.4. The repurchase of land inventory we have there for 2.5. Architecture and engineering costs for $500,000. Maintenance and landscaping $53,000. Conduit management with Global Link's contract for $180.8, and utilities for $11,000. Bringing total corporate landing net activity to 2.3. This is obviously more than likely a worst case scenario. At Innovation Park, we have architecture and engineering for $160,000. And then continuing with the projects, we have the demolition at 110 South Independence. Obviously, that's already taken place, but as far as the cash payment, we anticipate that in FY25. At Lachelle Place, we're anticipating utilities of $11,000. And you'll see the net proposed use of operating cash after adding all those together, including the operating and the projects, we get to a negative $2.4 million. And once again, showing the operating cash balance at the bottom here, currently 10.27. All right, so that's moving. I should note that the actual as of FY24 is only through May 31st, of course. For VBDA initiatives, we have the Bio Accelerator with 2 months remaining on the Olympia Bendix lease for $23,600. The sod improvement grants typically budgeted in 1 year. The majority of the awards take place the following year. So we show that as 100 in, 100 out. However, there's 109,000 likely to go out this current year. The 100,000 in expenditures you see there, of course, would be for FY25. The Small Business Grant Program, otherwise known as EDIP Part F, for $150,000, and the current initiative cash balance that we saw in the cash presentation is $1.267 million. Moving on to the capital maintenance at the amphitheater, we're anticipating using the revenue from the city. That's really just the cash balance sitting at the city, and the capital maintenance repairs to include the replacement of the gravel parking lot for $600. Human services, the current balance there is held by VBDA is only 9.4. Human services, we have lease income $574,928. I see that number many times each year. Capital maintenance repairs anticipated for 2.4, so this will include the roofing, cooling tower, and also elevator repairs. Bringing net activity to 1.8, current cash balance being 3.1, so there'll still be another 1.3 left over anticipated at the end of next year within the capital maintenance account for human services. VB National, we're anticipating $150,000 in lease income. You can see here, this is where that transfer from operating cash comes back to kind of balance the VB National capital maintenance, seeing as we don't have enough for the $2 million in anticipated repairs. Those repairs are going to include the what's been deemed as the prominent repairs that need to take place sooner rather than later for the ponds and the building itself. Current cash balance is $273. And finally, we just have the EDIP appropriation, which was already approved by City Council, but here you can see it's $1.59 million. That'll be appropriated to the city project and available for drawdown as needed. It's the most exciting presentation you'll hear of it. Any questions?
We're on the edge of our seats. Any questions for Blake? Bill?
No, I had an opportunity to look at this yesterday, but heard it's on.
Seeing no questions. Bill, Blake, do we have to vote on this month?
It's recommended, just so, if not, we're proposing spending FY25 money, so.
Which starts July 1.
A lot of those items are already pre-approved, so the facade improvement grant is approved at the time, so not technically everything needs to go for approval. The operating budget, absolutely.
All right. With that, any questions? Can I get a motion to approve the fiscal year 24-25 annual budget as presented by Blake? A motion from Mr. Runge. Second. Mr. Standing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item on the agenda is an update on the city's comprehensive plan, and Hank Morrison is going to provide that for us. Hank.
Morning, everyone. Thanks for having me come speak with you all this morning. My name is Hank Morrison. I'm the Comprehensive Planning Administrator in the Planning Department, and I'm the Project Manager for the city on this Comprehensive Plan update. I also have a member of my staff, Rachel Miller, Planner 1, here as well. So I'm going to just provide a quick overview about the 2040 comp plan, and then kind of talk about the next steps that we're going to be taking on over the next couple of months. So this project will be the 8th comprehensive plan in the city's history. The first plan was adopted in 1979, and the current comprehensive plan that we use was adopted in 2016. The department began the update process back in 2019. We started off with a survey, but we were forced to put the project on pause due to the pandemic. So we picked it back up and restarted the project about 2 years ago with the second survey to try and kind of see if there were any differences between the pre-COVID and post-COVID preferences on the surveys. And then we also brought on our consultant team from Dills Architects and Renaissance Planning last summer, which is when we got started pretty much in earnest on the project. So we've been keeping pretty busy over the last year. As you can see, we're almost finished with our first 3 phases of the update. So far we've completed 3 surveys, we've held 10 focus group meetings and 9 public meetings, and we have 1 virtual input opportunity that's on our website right now. That was sort of meant to allow people to provide input if they weren't able to attend the meetings last month. So once we wrap up that virtual opportunity next week, the consultant will begin the process of developing the actual draft document, as well as the accompanying technical documents that go along with the comp plan. So we're most likely going to be taking the rest of the summer to get that draft prepared, but we don't have anything on the schedule right now, but we're kind of planning to go back out to the public later on in the fall to get some feedback before the final document is actually finalized and goes to Planning Commission and City Council for approval toward the end of the year. So I wouldn't have a very happy boss if I didn't put up a QR code and access for our virtual input opportunity. So it's available through next week, June 25th. And so it's really a chance to review the general policy directions that that we've been working on and that were presented at the open houses last month. So to try and get some input before the consultant really begins the drafting of the documents. So you can access it either through that website or that link, it's on the planning website, or through this QR code as well. So the next couple of slides are going to go over some of the different themes and the big ideas that are shaping the policies for the 2040 plan. So we were able to establish these 8 kind of prominent themes during the focus groups and the initial workshops last year. As you can see, themes like environmental sustainability, they apply across the spectrum of natural and developed land, while others like multimodal access are focused in areas that are more developed than natural land. So, and these are what we're calling the 9 big ideas that were also established alongside those themes, and they were really kind of meant to weave throughout the plan. So policies that are drafted in the plan will be formed with the themes and the big ideas in mind as a framework for that. And so, and this slide shows something new that we're proposing for the upcoming plan. So this map shows what we're referring to as the context areas in the city. So they're meant to provide kind of tailored guidance for the unique and different areas throughout Virginia Beach. So each context area is going to have policies that are specifically related to each context area. So particularly focusing most of the city's future growth in the inland context area, adding growth and density along major thoroughfares and at kind of established centers. And then we're going to be also providing some potential locations for economic development opportunities, particularly looking for appropriate areas for things like light manufacturing and other light industrial uses. So that's going to be kind of top of the mind for us on that one. So as far as next steps for the projects go, the consultant and our staff team are going to begin working on the draft documents this summer. That's going to involve some internal review from planning and other departments prior to it actually going out to the public for review then. So we're thinking that we'll probably have a draft toward the end of the summer, with the thinking that, like I said earlier, we're going to have some future public meetings to present the plan to the community. And then we are tentatively expecting adoption of this plan around the end of the year. And that's the QR code for the virtual input opportunity, again, if you want to do that. And that is all I have this morning, but I'm happy to answer questions.
Any questions for Hank? Yeah, that's a question.
Just one quick one. If you could go back to the map, the transition area, just in terms of roadways, I can kind of pick out Princess Anne Road, no problem. But what are the eastern boundaries? Are those roadways, or just for a point of reference?
The eastern boundary is not a roadway. That is, I believe that came out of the ACUS overlay between Oceana and Fentress. It's the noise zones around the area. So Princess Anne is obviously one, but that when it cuts down, it's just part of the zoning overlay.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Just clarification, is there a blue line now and a green line?
Yes, sir. So we had a blue line kind of internally, and it's more of a public utilities thing, but we're going to be bringing a blue line into the planning documents, just to kind of show where we have the green line, which kind of marks that transition from urban and suburban transitioning down into the rural, whereas the blue line really marks where the utilities end. That's kind of the hard stop for expansion southward.
By having that blue line where it says transition context area, does that kind of prevents affordable housing in transition areas, doesn't it? Because you have no bonus bonus zoning there. It cuts that out and pushes it all towards the inner city.
Right, yeah, so the thinking is that as a part of the overall growth management strategy, adding more affordable housing would occur more within the inland context area along major thoroughfares like Virginia Beach Boulevard and adding density along those major corridors.
Does it cut it out of other districts?
Cut what out of other districts, I'm sorry?
You have no ability to increase the zoning in the transition area or other districts outside of the main thoroughfares. It cuts out the 30% bonus zoning for affordable housing.
Right. So the thinking is that affordable housing is probably better suited in areas where there are more jobs, more access to transportation routes and things like that, where there's actually infrastructure that currently exists to add density and things like that.
So it would be redevelopment in inland areas, because virtually all of that's already developed.
Correct, yes. So the two sides of the same coin, I guess, if we're going to be maintaining the green line in its current state, then we're inherently going to have to look towards redevelopment in the northern part of the city.
And do you have the green and blue line on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you point them out? 'Cause-
Yes. So green line is here, and the blue line is here.
Okay. All right, and then the gray hatched areas look like they're military installations.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And have they provided any feedback? I mean, is it?
We have not gotten any feedback specifically yet, but we've made sure to keep our Navy partners involved as we continue through the process.
What about density credits in the transition area for age-restricted housing? It's been done before. Is that no longer going to be allowed with this new forbidding density credits?
Right now, the way that the policy is going right now is that there would not be density bonuses permitted in the transition context area, regardless of whether it's for.
Is this something you've gotten from your citizen feedback
Yes.
focus group?
Yes, sir. Yeah, but it's been pretty consistent, especially with the folks that live down there. But throughout the city, people are very concerned about the green line and development south of the green line.
Even though there's been density credits for years in the transition area?
Yes.
That's interesting.
You only get those for affordable housing.
Pardon?
You only get those for affordable housing.
Well, they did density credits for also age-restricted housing. They did that in Asheville Park.
Okay.
And I believe also years ago, didn't they also get density credit for, and what's that called, West Neck? For age, it was age-restricted?
I don't know that. That precedes my time with the city. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I believe there was that also.
Can I make just a quick comment? So that's why I love that QR code so much. It's time to provide some input. We're hearing from one section of the community, and we need to hear from everyone in the city. So there's still plenty of time to provide input on the various policies. They are just in draft form right now. So we just want to hear what everyone has to say about affordable housing, about density, so on and so forth. So now's a great time to just go on that virtual option and provide input on these certain topics.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And just for, I think it may be helpful, but for the folks who don't deal with this all the time, comprehensive plan is sort of the big picture, overall umbrella policies and goals for the next 5 years for the city. And then we have a zoning ordinance that gets into the specifics. But to Dr. Brown's point, if somebody were to bring a rezoning application in an area where the comprehensive plan says we shouldn't have additional density or shouldn't give credits for additional density, that would not be well received. So I think you've identified an issue that is something that we should probably provide feedback on.
Yes, please.
I think it is important. All right, any other questions? Oh, Councilman Remick.
Thanks, Chair. Hank, where, you mentioned light manufacturing land, where on that map could that go? I'm not talking 5 or 10 acres, maybe 50 or 200 acres.
So we haven't gotten quite in-depth on specific locations, but that is something that the consultant is looking through. But it would most likely occur, let's see if this will work. No, it doesn't work on the screen. It won't show up on the screen. Oh, okay. So probably just around the base up at the Burton Station SGA, but we're going to be diving more deeply over the summer into specifics to be able to provide you some more concrete details on locations for light manufacturing and light industry.
And I think given where our parks are, the one other possibility would be in the transition area surrounding where Quarter Landing and Innovation Park are now.
Yes, totally. And that area within the transition context area has been historically an area for economic development purposes. So that's not changing from the current comp plan to the new one.
So just as a follow-up add-on, I'm in the industrial real estate business. There's 6 current Virginia Beach businesses out in the market right now looking at other cities for land for their own expansion. 6 household names
Wow.
today.
So we need land.
Yes,
Yes.
for existing business, not new business.
Right, and I feel like the folks around this table would all support that, so I think we need to have our voices heard.
Yes, please.
QR code.
Yes. You want to flash the
Is there
QR
land at the
code
other end of that QR code?
Thank you, and there is the QR code.
Thank you very much.
All right, any other questions, comments? This is critically important, and thank you, Hank, for bringing all of this before us so we could try to focus on how this is going to impact the development community, as Councilman Remick said, existing businesses, and really what opportunities we have to incentivize and grow existing and bring in new businesses to the community. So,
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. And please feel free to reach out to me or my staff if you have any questions about the comp plan. Happy to have a conversation or chat about it. Thank you.
all right. Next item on the agenda is a request for approval of the modification of the EDIP policy to include Part F, which is the Small Business Development Grant Program. And he's on. Laura's
Hopefully me.
Laura's going to take us through this one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the lucky one. Yeah, so, good morning. Chuck Rigney was going to be presenting this morning, but he's unfortunately ill, so you have me. I'm here this morning to talk about a small business grant program. It's a program that was discussed last month, but there were some questions and concerns that we heard and we understood and we wanted to address and adapt a little bit. As we had mentioned, this is a program that came out of the City Council retreat. Our office was asked to put together a program to assist small businesses and kind of adapt our EDIP program in a way. So this is a program that is going to be added into our current EDIP program. It's going to be Part F. And the funds for the first round are going to be $150,000. And this is going to be coming from funds that already exist, that used to be part of Part E of the policy that has now been removed. Each company would be approved for up to $10,000. And it is being created for companies that have been historically underserved and marginalized. So qualifying businesses, who can be awarded these funds? They're for micro businesses, so companies that have less than 25 employees. They hold a valid Virginia Beach license, business license. They've operated in the city for at least 1 year. They're current on payment of all local taxes and fees. They have not received any other grant from the city or from the authority in the last 12 months. And they do not employ a city employee or an official. Each company would be ranked based on a point system, and here's some of what they'd be ranked on. Additional points will be awarded for women, minority, service-disabled veterans. If their credit report has been submitted, that was added in based on conversations last month, as well as the business had to be operational for at least 1 year. That was added in as well. They will be evaluated on the purpose of the funds, because will be discretionary. And then they will be evaluated also on their business and strategic plan. And they must commit, this is another add-in, they must commit to attend at least 6 business counseling sessions at the Hive once they've been granted the award. And also, people that will not be eligible for this award would be nonprofits or chains with more than 3 locations. Here is a list of approved uses and not approved uses that have been changed a little bit from last month as well. So here are permitted uses: working capital, marketing and advertising, development of online or mobile presence, equipment and supplies, business expansion, real estate acquisition, and other business development purposes that are approved by the authority. Not permitted uses is payroll, salaries, insurance, lease payments, and personal expenses. And another add-on also that's not up here is cars. They won't pay for any cars. This selection committee will be made up of a member from this development authority, the minority council, economic development, Isan Moyak or Henry Cobb, and then the city manager's office. This, I believe, Isan, does everyone, I believe maybe everyone has copies of this, but what has already been put together is an application, grant guidelines, frequently asked questions, the scoring matrix, the workshop program, marketing flyer, and a press release. Here's proposed schedule. We're here today to talk about the program. If it is approved today, then we would put it on city council agenda for them to adopt as well, since this will be a change to a policy. A press release will be sent out after city council adopts the program. Then the pre-application workshops will be scheduled, where there will be 4 per week, 2 in-person, 2 virtual. And then the first round will be determined at a later date, as soon as we get to these next first steps. So our recommendation is to adopt EDIP Part F for this small business grant program. Any questions? And if there are, Isan here at this program will be run out of the Hive, and Isan will lead it, and then obviously Alex will assist us in the implementation. So if there's questions, I might look at them.
All right, questions for the group? I know Bill has taken a look at this. One of the things I wanted to point out, if you could go back to the slide that talks about the scoring matrix. So because this is a competitive program, while there, I think to Bill's point, there haven't been tremendous changes made over what you saw last month. The additional points are going to be awarded for companies that do submit a credit report, and obviously that show us a strong track record. And along with that is businesses in operation for more than a year. So 1 year is the minimum, but obviously if it's a business that's been around for several years, they're going to, and they've provided a credit report, and they've got a really great track record, those are going to move up on that scoring matrix than maybe one that's not been around for so long, doesn't have as good a plan. The other thing I would add, to commit to attending at least 6 business counseling sessions, I'd like to see that happen in the year, in that fiscal year, so that we've tied them to a time period and it's not just when they get around to it. Because I think the concern that we have, and I don't want to speak for Bill, is that, this program, unlike some of the other ones, we can't sort of track, the benefit to the community overall by the development or by helping these businesses progress. There's not going to be increased real estate taxes. There's not going to be increased income taxes. So we've got to, recognize that this whole program is going to be different and more like the COVID emergency program that we did.
It's the leftover funds from that program, so it's kind of fitting.
Yeah.
And And this is for, I think there's only funds for 10 companies, or is it 15? 15 companies at the beginning for the first round. So, and our office, the Hive, and the members that'll be scoring, we all want to be good stewards of the funds and of these tax dollars. And that's why we're starting small also, with only 15 companies being awarded up to $10,000. Because we want to see how the program goes, and we can adapt. If the program is not successful, it's something that we can take away and not do again. But we would like to do this, at least 1 or 2 times and see how it's going, bring it back to the authority and kind of get a progress report and see if there's a way we can improve the program. And if it's successful, keep going. If not, we can
Right. And just like our other EDIP sections, this would require a vote by this body.
Absolutely.
So it goes through the scoring matrix, and the committee, it consists of development authority
Similar to the
members
FIG.
and others, and then it comes to us. So,
Sure. So last meeting, I think those who were here heard my concerns, and I shared those with Lisa. Subsequent to the meeting, I haven't seen many changes in the use of funds. I'm glad to see at least we took out paying off somebody else's debt.
That's right.
That's a start.
Right.
So first, I make clear, my reservations are not with the eligible entities. No question or no resistance there. Just as a technical thing, I would like to better understand, ultimately, City Council's appropriating these funds, so that's their business. But we referred a couple of times to leftover COVID funds. It's been referred to in a lot of different ways. There's a section where I saw unspent Part E. Which specific COVID fund pool is this coming from? Because I was under the impression a while ago that all COVID funds had to be spent by a particular date, which is
This
long
was,
past.
and I'll look at Blake if,
I'll add,
Okay. Right.
these are not the CARES Act funds. These are originally appropriated from the EDIP funds.
so is about,
It was already within the EDIP pot.
So it's not part of ARP, it's not part of CARISA, it's not part of CARES, not part of the Families First Act. These are
Just the
other funds.
EDIP funds that we present came straight out of their appropriate.
I don't know that we should really refer to them as COVID funds. I think that has the potential to be misleading and imply that somehow we're using funds beyond the date that we're supposed to use those funds. So that's just more of a technical aspect of the source of funds. My concern is that we are going to become not a lender, but a funder, because this is just an outright grant of struggling businesses, particularly in the areas where we get into working capital. Marketing and advertising expenses, I'm not totally sold on that as part of what we as a body should be funding. Development of online presence, we're talking about small businesses here. And I can assure you that $10,000 isn't going to go very far in developing your own online presence. There are many, many, many third-party platforms out there available on a subscription basis that provide a fairly robust online presence. I can not publicly reference, but I'm aware of quite a few that are doing $10 million or more
right,
through third-party online platforms for a monthly subscription. So I'm not sure how far $10,000 is going to go in developing in a robust online platform that has to deal with all of the nexus issues with sales tax and shipping and all of the things associated with that. I think that's just throwing good money after bad, honestly.
right.
I personally would prefer to see these funds earmarked for tangible, measurable items like equipment, vehicles, leasehold improvements, expanding the facilities, real estate acquisition fund. Those are the types of things that we've historically been in the business of funding. Even the FIG grant, which is again a micro-type grant, is oriented towards leasehold and building improvements, all of which would increase the overall value of the assets and in some cases appearance within a city. So my reservation continues to be that we are funding operational type expenditures, and I don't want to be the funder of last resort.
Right.
That's my concern.
And we understand those, and it was a conversation that we've had internally for the last month. Like, do we include marketing expenses? Do we not? because we heard your concerns and we share some of those concerns. And there was a judgment call that was made to add it back in and keep it because it was part of the, specifically with marketing, because it was included in surveys that Isan, maybe you could speak up a little bit about, there was a survey that was done on what small business community needed, and they needed assistance with marketing to grow their company. So that was one of the reasons we put it back in, but we do hear your concerns there, and there are some reservations, but that's why we have it in there for now. And we think that let's see how this goes for a round of two, and then if it doesn't go well, then we can change it.
So,
But, we can keep on talking about it too if other
Do you
people
want to address it?
if I may, so basically, I would say good 90 to 95% of the businesses that we tend are like micro businesses. Most of them are self-employed, 1 or 2 employees at the most. I say the majority. So through the Thrive at the Hive program, the no-cost workspace, through the one-on-one business counseling meetings, before we refer them to other business resource partners. So we meet with these people and we hear their concern. A lot of them also are home-based businesses that are looking now at, the next steps. We're helping them finding properties, location to start their business. And the online presence is mostly like to have a website to start their online presence. I know that there are a lot of platforms, but usually like we have accelerator programs like for $6,000 you could have a sound website and marketing resources to help get you leads and help increase your sales. So the marketing side, that's mostly what we're targeting for that.
And it is a competitive process. So what I would say maybe on your matrix, you should get additional points to Bill's point for things like a physical expansion, leasehold improvements, things that are going to increase the tax revenue and tax base. Would that be helpful, Bill?
Sure.
It's a competitive process. We don't have a whole lot of funding at this point. We're going through this review process. But I think you're right. I think the folks that rise to the top of that competitive process should be the folks that are focused on things that we traditionally incentivize.
Make that change and add that in.
I'd like to hear what other folks think. If I'm the only one here, then so be it.
Well, I think at least what you said kind of definitely helps it. In addition, is it possible, Isan, to during these 6 business counselings, maybe at the end, have some sort of summary of success so we can see where they started, where they ended, and what that time frame is, 6 months, a year, whatever afterwards, or what the goals are, and then maybe a return in the year so that we can see if we're spinning wheels or not.
And I think, Laura, we talked about this at the agenda setting meeting. There are other cities that have programs like this just for small and micro businesses. And how would you say this stacks up with what other cities are doing?
It's fairly similar. Isan and Henry went and met with Norfolk and any other, you spoke to Newport News, spoke to all our neighboring, all of our neighboring communities to design programs that were similar to what they had and, maybe adapt the program to fit our city a little bit better and the request of this board and council.
How are we getting the word out about it?
It'll be advertised via LinkedIn, so press release that's already been drafted.
Do we have a QR code?
We don't get one. We'll work on that.
We also have, in one of the selection committees, a representative from the Minority Business Council. And they're very active also at the Hive. They hold their board meetings. They just had their retreat and everything. So, I'm hoping it will get to the rest of the city because it's already, they've seen the first presentation. Everybody's waiting for this. Go ahead.
It's coming. Councilman Remick, since you're our only liaison here, our only council representative, would you want to add any comments about council's vision for this coming out of the retreat and what the thought is for this program?
And this promotes entrepreneurship at a local level, small business. Sounds like, I mean, $10,000 is really, in the scheme of things, not a whole lot of money. I really like the fact that there's a selection committee, so it's not automatic, so they have to make their case to the committee.
And it'll be a competitive process, yeah.
The scoring document is outside of the policy itself. That's more of an administrative policy, right?
That's a Alex question.
This is outside of the policy.
Yes.
The policy, but
We have added the grant design guidelines, it's a document. Then we have FAQs. We also are doing a pre-application workshop where literally we're going over everything. We know people don't read. It's just handwritten. So we got well, they don't, literally, so we want complete applications. We want it to be a seamless process.
So I understand the need for flexibility. And as long as the selection committee and maybe even more memorialized within the selection process, the scoring, is recognized that we do not want to provide funds to bail out a company who's in financial trouble. We don't want to be purchasing inventory, which is allowed, because they didn't pay for their last inventory delivery, and the only way they're going to get their product for the season is by paying the bill from last season. That's where I don't want to be. That is the root of my concern. If I have a business that is expanding its business line, has developed a robust online presence in some manner, and needs to secure some inventory to be able to fulfill those obligations, I see that as growth and opportunity, yes. I just want to really make sure that we are not simply bailing out a company. I'm being very blunt about that.
Right, we understand.
It's, we're not paying payroll, but if it's the choice between paying an owner an exorbitant salary who he's drawing from the business because he couldn't pay, because he didn't pay his inventory, the selection committee and the rubric needs to have some guardrails to protect against those slipping through. And I know life happens and crazy things happen, but the program needs to really protect against that. And outside of the policy, your selection process, as long as I'm being heard,
You are.
and that's being represented in the matrix.
Yeah, it sounds like, Bill, I'm hearing you say that you would like to be on the selection committee.
I'm happy to serve on this.
Yes. Great, so Bill Brunke will be our representative to the selection committee. And I think for folks that may not know, I mean, Bill's a CPA, he's got a small business that's a CPA accounting firm, and you advise small businesses, so you know probably more so than anybody else what a business that's young but expanding and doing all the right things looks like versus one that might be struggling.
Yes, we've been doing that for 30 years. We have 1,000 clients. A lot of them are businesses in varying sizes. I've seen some come literally from their kitchen table to $150 million of revenue. And I've seen those come out of the box with all the great funding and great ideas, and a year later have crashed and burned because they just don't know how to run a business. It's the crash and burn ones that I want to win.
Right. Because there are so many businesses that do need just a little bit of help to get to that next level. And so again, because it's a competitive process, we're starting small and with a relatively modest amount. I think this is a good opportunity to be on the selection committee and to help sort of guide things.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So we've got our one representative. Any other questions for Laura or Isan or Alex? Just quickly writing notes.
Just in the resolution, without getting very specific, the resolution and the policy itself, to be sure that we don't imply that these were any of the funds that were associated with the COVID grants or the various acts where there were limitations and timelines on the use.
And restrictions.
Yeah, we don't want to imply that we're using money inappropriately.
And this is not on council's agenda for this evening, so whatever policy, EDIP, policy changes that we decide to make ultimately have to be approved by council, so I think do we need to go ahead and vote on this? Or
You could or would, and it would be subject to council
Right.
adoption. And should council make any modifications, we would ask you just to ratify them.
Come back to us, okay. So then we do need to vote with I guess the tweaks that we've talked about, and then any correction to the resolution confirming that these are not CARES Act or any of the other federal government funding that was specific for COVID relief. Okay. With all of that, Chair will entertain a motion to the request for modification of the EDIP policy, which, as you may recall, also includes the changes that you and Mike worked on for
Yes.
various
I saw
other
that.
sections.
I
Yeah,
saw that.
yeah. So that, this is all of the changes to the overall EDIP policy.
Yeah, I'd have to wordsmith that right now. I think our conversation leading up to this motion, that it would be considered included in changing the technical sources use of funds, but not changing the substantive resolution. There you go.
All right, so we've got a motion for Mr. Brunke and a second.
Got all that,
Mr.
Alex?
Franklin?
Yes, sir.
He's scribbling away, all right.
That's a good point.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item on the agenda is any comments or priorities from commissioners?
One, I want to
Franklin.
thank Bill for really going in depth into that, because as Isan said, a lot of people don't read all the way through it. That's appreciated, so thanks for doing that. Two, I'd like this board to consider drafting a letter with an ad hoc committee on the comp plan. I think it would be very helpful for us, because our job is economic development, and without a really great roadmap, I'm not saying it's not great already, but I'm sure there's some tweaks. I think it would be great for us to spend a little time really digging into that. And as Councilman Remy said, industrial is really important, housing is important. I mean, it's all very important, and just making our voice heard, as Kathy suggested. Maybe just draft a letter after we spend some time going through it to the planning commission and their team. And so I'd like to suggest we do an ad hoc committee, which I'm happy to be part of.
All right, so would anybody, I think that's an excellent idea. I think we should go ahead and create a task force to provide this body's feedback on the comprehensive plan.
It kind of falls in line with the workshop we were trying to do.
Sounds like
look at
Mr.
it
Stanley, yeah.
Really high level.
And I know that Kayla was going to speak to this. So there is a survey for the workshop that should be on everybody's machine, but we'll provide a link as well. Is it part of the director's report?
Chair Murphy, it's actually, so if everyone just clicks the home button, it is the bottom right icon on the home screen. So on your iPad, the circular button.
So it says home.
And some administrative support we can navigate to assist.
And we'll send everybody a link though, but to your point, Mike, there's a survey that staff has put together, specifically speaking to our retreat, some dates, content, information.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that would be separate.
Okay.
Yeah, the retreat.
So did we agree to do a task force?
Yes, I think we're doing a task force, and it'll be you and Mike Standing.
Point of clarification on the ultimate communication that comes out of the task force. Are we also providing authority or direction to send that letter as they draft it, or is that something that has to be approved by this board?
Oh, I think it should come back. Yeah, I think
So,
whatever they.
At our July meeting?
Fine for me. I think it would be helpful to have somebody from staff with us. Mike and I can read, but we might need a little help.
Would it be Emily?
yes.
Right, this is, I mean, would that make the most sense, Kathy? Okay, so it would be Kathy, I
So
think.
our next meeting, I believe, is now the second
Yes,
Tuesday,
we're
which would
moving
be
up to,
July 9th.
July 9th. Would that be the target date for this? So that we can Get that done for July 9th?
yeah, I think if,
Probably.
Yeah.
I think we get it done that fast.
July what? July 9th.
July 9th is our next meeting, which is actually a good thing to point out. Starting with the 24-25 fiscal year, which starts July 1, our meetings will be on the second Tuesday of the month as opposed to the third Tuesday. And I think Kayla got everybody an updated calendar invites.
When's the draft report have to be out?
There's no specific date, but we're expecting that our consultants will start drafting in the next 30 to 60 days. So we'll start getting sections.
Okay.
So there's still time for public.
20 days, that's all.
Yeah, that should be plenty of time, I would think. Yeah, well, and anybody having comments for the comp plan task force, which is now Taylor Franklin and Mike Standing, go ahead and provide those as soon as possible.
Would you like us to draft the letter to prepare for this board?
That would be ideal, yes. Any other comments from commissioners? Okay, I just had a couple of things that I wanted to provide you all some feedback on. Last week, a company that we had provided an EDIP award to, Powertrain Industries, which is under the umbrella of Dorman, had a ribbon cutting, and they went from a 10,000 square foot or 20,000 square foot facility to a 100,000 square foot facility, which is amazing. And they're going from 35 employees to 135 with this new facility. Great company. I went to the ribbon cutting. They brought folks from their corporate headquarters, and they are really excited about what this facility is going to do for their overall expansion in the industry. So very exciting things going on there. Last week, there was also a group of site selection consultants who were in town, and there was a group from here that welcomed them and had a meeting and a sort of, I guess it was a tag on to the program that was going on that we were having. So lots of exciting things going on. Staff's constantly working. Dorman did do a shout out to Letitia Lancaster and Charlie Bowman for all of their work in helping the company and moving them through the process. So thank you all. And
Letitia mostly.
yeah, wanted to make sure that
No, she's with her mom. She's having some surgery.
yeah. So it's great to hear our businesses grow and expand and to say complimentary and nice things about our staff. So congratulations to our staff members. That's all I've got. Director's report.
Just wanted to update you quickly on the progress that's taken place next door. I think maybe some of you saw on the way in, this building no longer exists.
I saw that. Go by it today, it's just a fence.
Done.
So here's the before. During and what we have today, which I know there's several staff members here, Emily and Pam particular, that are happy to have this gone with the help of your votes, because it was a little bit of a task trying to maintain the empty building. And the cost, we was approved to spend up to $100,000, but the total is $93,131.
On time and under budget.
That's it, and then the other update that Chuck was gonna give was the survey. So if you could do the survey, just to kind of let us know what you want out of the retreat. And I know there's dates on there, so if you're not able to fill out the survey today, because you need to go and look at your personal calendars and work calendars, we're just asking that it be submitted by the 25th. Is that right? Okay, by the 25th. It'd really help our office with designing a program that'll be useful for your
And Kayla, can you send around that survey link to all the members? Okay. All righty. Bill, did you have a question?
No, I was going to ask for the link.
Yeah, okay. It'd be hard to fill out now, but that, and I know that Mike's been looking for opportunities to sort of provide feedback on what we're gonna talk about in the retreat, and how many hours and what we're gonna do. So that's everybody's opportunity to provide feedback on what they'd like to see in the retreat.
Have you all decided where?
I think is that one of the
That's being
questions?
discussed. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the questions and being discussed. There's a discussion of it, whether will be here in our offices or if we're able to do tours. So you can actually see the Development Authority assets, because, it's one thing to talk about assets, but actually seeing it kind of provide some context. But that will require a full day. So, it's just what is everyone able to give us to the resort? Do you want 2 half-day sessions or 1 full day, or do you want to go on a tour?
I think a tour would be helpful. I mean, we
There's
talked.
just rules around it with the
Yeah.
public and everything that we gotta navigate through.
So there is some planning involved, yeah. Any questions for Laura or staff?
Thank you.
Yeah, any other comments from any commissioners? All right, hearing none. The chair will entertain a motion to recess into a closed session pursuant to the exemptions from open meetings allowed by section 2.2-3711A Code of Virginia as amended for the following purposes: contracts, discussion of the award of a public contract involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews of bidders or offerers, and discussion of the terms or scope of such contract, or discussion in an open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A30, and that pertains to District 9. So I'll need a motion, a second, and then we'll have a roll call vote. Second. A motion, this time we're gonna give it to Linda Garris-Bright for the second. All right, and a roll call vote.
William Brown,
Yes.
William Brunke,
Yes.
Taylor Franklin, Linda Garris-Bright,
Yes.
Eric Heflinger,
Yes.
Penny Morgan,
Yes.
Lisa Murphy,
Yes.
Mike Standing,
Yes.
David Weiner,
Yes.
Hunter Weisensfield.
Yes.